Hello everyone, welcome back. This alder tree, some of you might have seen the video where I thread grafted this branch through it. It was obviously attached on here, and I'd left this one grow long so that I could thread graft it through, and I came out one day and it'd been chewed off and just completely separated there, so this is no good now. I couldn't figure out what it was that had eaten it, because it was up on a bench, so it was quite high, and like I wouldn't get rabbits and things in my garden, so I don't know what could have reached it, until my son looked out his bedroom window one night and he videoed a fox standing chewing on one of my other trees up where this one was. Let's fix this camera so it's a bit. Yeah, so we videoed a fox standing under the. I have lights which come on automatically, sensor lights, and he was just standing underneath the light chewing away. Happy out, so that's obviously what chewed it off. So I'm going to redo it now. So obviously I can't use any branches now because they're all too short, but I do have this little alder here, and I've left this couple of the branches grow long on it, so I'm going to use this one. Preferably it's one of the top branches, so it should grow with a lot more vigour. If the only problem is now the buds are starting to get quite big, so I'm hoping I can get it through the hole. If not, I can maybe use this thinner one on the side, but we'll try this one first. What I will do is maybe I'm going to just drill the hole out a little bit bigger now, because just to make sure with enough room in there for the branch. That should do it. Now I'm going to leave this planted so it'll be safer, it'll grow better. And I'm hoping I can just put that on there, put that through, and then I'll just tie that to that so it can't fall off. So we'll see how we get on. So first thing I'm going to do is just put a bit of cling film around these buds, because when I push them through they'll just break off, and hopefully I can get it through with a couple of buds on. See how this works. Try and get it some bit tight on it if I can. Bit fiddly, but you have to do it really, otherwise you'll never get it through with the buds on. Yeah, it was kind of baffling me how it got chewed off. I was thinking, the only thing I could think of was a mouse, but I was thinking, why would a mouse climb up the branch right up to the end of the branch just to chew that piece? I couldn't think what else would have reached it. So yeah, so we had a little fox coming in, chewing on them. So I do have a thing now, like an ultrasonic sensor thing, so the gap that he was coming through, if he comes through, it sets off an ultrasonic blast, kind of high pitched thing, so I'm hoping that will deter him coming back in again, chewing on my trees. No idea why he's decided to come into my garden chewing on my trees, but okay, let's see if that we're getting, we can get that through. There's quite a big bud on the end, so I'm kind of thinking it might be a bit tricky. Let's see. So gently. Okay, I've got a few two through in there. Oh, this was the big one I was worried about. Okay, got that one in. Another one here now, sticking out a little bit. Okay. That's pretty good. We got that through there nicely. So we can take off the cling film now again. I managed to get it through with all the buds intact, so that's good. I'm just going to tie these together now. I suppose just a piece of wire is as good as anything. And it's only to stop this falling off. So we'll just tie it together and then we'll put it somewhere safe enough that it won't get knocked anyway, but just in case. It should hold it. It doesn't have to be tight or anything, just as long as it won't fall off, the popcorn won't fall off. Okay, so now all we need to do is fill in the holes again. So we have some putty here that Adam from Notion Bonsai makes, and he sent me some, so we'll use some of that. Dig a little bit of it out. Piece for both sides. Okay, I'm just gonna wet my fingers just a little bit just to stop it sticking to my fingers, and then we'll just get that out and we'll put that around there and fill in that. Stop any bugs or anything getting into the hole. The same on this side. Push that in. And eventually the hole will close up and lock the branch in place, and then we can cut it off on this side and we'll run a new branch on that side. Okay, so that can go back out on the bench, and I think this year this tree I normally have to prune quite a lot because it grows quite strong, so with this being one of the top branches I'll prune back these branches so all the energy goes into this branch, and I'll just let it grow and thicken up, and that will fill the hole then eventually. Okay, so we'll put that back out on the bench. We'll bring in another tree to have a look at. Okay, so the update is on this Hobbit house. You see the trees are growing quite well. Chinese elm shooting out everywhere. The blueberry tree, that's starting to leaf out, and the buds on the little red oak, they're starting to bud out as well, push out. So I don't know if I like these stones here. I think I'm going to take them off. They're a bit too big and too kind of too much, I think. If they were a bit smaller maybe, or yeah, maybe we'll think of that in a minute. But what I want to do is just give it a weed in. As you can see, there's a lot of tiny weeds starting to pop up everywhere. See at the back here, see there's quite a few quite big weeds. So I'll take them out. Funny, when you collect this moss, there's no weeds. When I collected it, there was no weeds in the moss at all. But then, as soon as you plant it onto something, weeds start to grow. So much. I don't know why they're growing now, but they weren't when it was on the wall and collected it off. But we don't want them taking over because they just start getting too big. We end up having to remoss the whole thing because they just take over. If we get them out now, should be okay for another while. You can kind of see the moss is starting to mould into it together now, which is looking quite good, I think. It's quite dry actually, I need to give it a good soaking when I'm finished. Little bits of the wall down here, which some old leaves. I like the little stone gate, the pillars. The path is not too bad. Again, I could do something a bit smaller. I might look for do some small stones in there. I do have little red bricks and things. I could make a little red brick path. That might be an idea. Maybe out here just to put a path of some sort of sand or something different. It's just a kind of a walkway on the front of the garden rather than the stones. So you get kind of a full-time job looking after some of these pingings. Weed growing in amongst the little fern there by the door. Disrupted all the stones now. Okay, so I'm just going to take these stones off and have a look. And maybe put, you can see this moss has grown quite well. This moss that I put around the edge, I wanted to grow like kind of ferns or like little kind of grassy plants or whatever. So that's worked quite well, using that different moss for there. I'm just going to take off these. I just think they're a bit, if they were bedded in maybe wouldn't be as bad. I'm thinking just making like a path there. Now I do have some sand here, which is kind of a bit of a mixture of everything. Just got my little scoop behind it. kind of just sieve stuff. So it's all different things, black sand and stuff like that. So maybe this will just give it a little bit more of a realistic look of a path rather than the sand. It's a bit more subtle than the big stones, and I just want it like a little pass, like outside of the garden. Now the pass in here, I don't mind it. It could probably be filled in a bit more now with some more sand. Now it's kind of settled. So we'll just put another little bit of sand over that. I'll just use the brighter sand for that. With these paintings, you just need to kind of just do little jobs like this, which I kind of enjoy doing anyway, but just do them every now and again. Keep your eye on it and just do a little bit, because if you leave it for too long, it ends up a big job and it's very hard to fix it without completely starting again. Put that on there, and that will eventually just wash in. Get a little brush, maybe I could just brush it in a bit. Soft paintbrush, just push it into the cracks. The sand is kind of, the original sand that I was sitting on was dry and soft, so it's actually kind of sunk down now, and the just leaves the stones then kind of sitting on the top. So now they're kind of, the sand underneath is hardened a bit. Now you can fill in around them, and this sand should wash away as easy. Yeah, like that. Looks okay. I was thinking of redoing these posts. I got some kind of square dowels, and I was going to redo them with square ones, but to be honest I quite like them, the round ones. They look quite good. I was thinking of putting lime sulphur on them so they were white, but then again I think it looks pretty okay as it is. As they get older they'll kind of get a bit more rotten things, and that'll make it more realistic looking. The trees, I think this branch at the front here could come off on this blueberry. I know this branch is a bit wild going over it, but I kind of like that kind of coming over to meet that one, leaving this like a path through. Other than that, that's okay. Won't do any trimming with this. I'll let that keep growing for another while. And the red oak at the back. Now this guy might be the wrong tree for back here. When it's in leaf it might be a bit too big leaf, but we can always switch it out, put in something different. But we'll see what it looks like when it's in leaf. But it's just a nice little shaped tree to go at the back. So yeah, so we'll call that done now. Like I said, we'll just keep checking these guys and just do little bits at a time, and then it doesn't seem a big job. So hopefully the graft will take. We'll keep you updated with that, and hopefully we don't get any more visits from Mr. Fox chewing on my trees. So as always guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.